This is our story of how we paid off just over $75,000 in credit cards, student loans, and car loans. If you're struggling with debt, know that your journey is your own, and if we could do it, so can you. Welcome back to Everyday Finance. My name is Kellen. On this channel, we bring you new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on topics of financial independence, investing, budgeting, and savings. Watch until the end of the video, and I'm going to share my #1 tip for how you can pay off debt quickly. You may have heard there are two types of methods used by people that are paying off debt. The first is the debt avalanche. The second is the debt snowball. The method that we used when we had first started paying off debt was the debt snowball. See, we had come across the Dave Ramsey baby steps, and we really enjoyed that method because of the behavioral benefits it gave us. As we started paying off small debts, we really were motivated to continue on the journey. Dave Ramsey's debt snowball method entails putting all of your debts in order from smallest to largest and paying them off in that order. Since that time of our early debt payoff, we have switched to a more mathematical analysis, and we are in more favor of the debt avalanche method now, as it just makes more analytical sense. See, the debt avalanche method is based on paying off the highest interest debt first and then working down the list from greatest interest rate to smallest interest rate. As a CPA by trade, I simply cannot justify paying debts using the debt snowball method as opposed to the debt avalanche method. You see, the debt avalanche, or where you pay off your debt with the highest interest first, just makes more math sense. For someone that's already motivated and already working hard to better their financial life, the avalanche method will get you there faster. Whether you are just beginning your journey to better your financial life or just starting to pay off debt, you may find that the debt snowball method works better for you because you're gonna get quick and easy wins paying off your smallest debts first. So those little debts that everybody has in the $100 to $500 range, you're gonna knock those off so quick, it's gonna make you feel incredible. We follow a general rule of any debt with an interest rate over 5%, we have to pay off immediately. But for a debt with an interest under 5%, we have the choice whether or not to accelerate debt payoff on that, or we can just pay it out over the life of the agreement. At the time we started our journey, we were living on a single income, and my wife was a stay-at-home mom. We were just barely surviving at this point, and we were actually bringing in about $200 less a month than what we were spending. So we talked and we made the decision that if we were gonna be able to pay off debt, we were gonna have to make some drastic changes to the way that we were working. So I picked up a second job, and my wife went from being a stay-at-home mom to also going back part-time. With both of our part-time jobs being in the restaurant industry, we were gonna be getting a regular influx of cash that we could instantly pay towards paying off debt. By doing this, we were able to not have to pay for childcare expenses while maximizing our ability to earn income. We started making debt payments of $2,000 to $3,000 every month. We did this for over a year and were able to pay off over $30,000 in our first year. Now that we've gone into a little bit about how we started to pay off debt, next I'm going to go into the types of debt that we carried and that we paid off. Starting with what I would consider one of the worst types of debt, credit cards. We had accumulated $15,000 of credit card debt split between two cards. One card had an interest rate of just over 15%, and the other card had a whopping interest rate of 27%. The balances on both of these cards have been building up since our early 20s. The usual type of lifestyle spending by overspending caused our balances to inflate to this high amount. From the beginning, we never fully paid off our credit cards. Our balances just sort of went up little by little, month by month, whether it be due to an increase in lifestyle spending or the one-off expense that was an unexpected or emergency expense we put on a credit card and just said we'll pay it off over time. If this sounds at all like the situation that you're in, you should check out our video on the 5 stages of financial independence. I'm gonna put a link for it right up here. It talks about what it's like to live in the survival mode and how you can dig yourself out of it. The next kind of debt that we carried was 2 car loans. Now, for a family of 4, we carried modest car loans. We had a family car, and then I had a personal car that I would use to commute to work and back. Between the 2 cars, we had car loan debt of $30,000 in car debt. However, being on the single income, we did really struggle to maintain that level of debt. I believe to do car buying the right way, you should always follow our 24/7 guidelines. That is, you should put down 20%, finance for no more than 4 years or 48 months, and have your monthly payment be no more than 7% of your annual income. If you're interested in hearing more about our car buying guidelines, stay tuned on this channel for future videos. We're going to be doing a series on our top tips on car buying. Now we're going to be going on to the next type of debt we carried, student loans. Student loans are a necessary evil for many of us to get the education that we need to work in the fields we want. I, like many others, struggled to settle on a college major, and by doing that, I racked up a high amount of student loan debt. All in, our monthly student loan payment was just over $1,000 per month. We spent over a year paying off student loans, and we were able to pay off $30,000 of student loans. We didn't end up paying off our entire student loan balance, as we did transition to some other financial goals that we wanted to focus on. What we ended up doing was we paid off the $30,000 of student loan debt in a year, and then we had a remaining amount which we were able to refinance it to an interest rate of a 4.5%. Through refinancing and paying off a significant portion of my student loan debt, we were able to make a drastic reduction in our student loan monthly payment. The only debt we have outstanding currently is the remaining portion of that student loans that we refinanced at an interest rate of below 5%. So as we started transitioning to other financial goals, we are just going to continue making payments on that student loans over the life of the loan, with the occasional one-off payment that will go straight towards reducing principal. Altogether, we have paid off over $75,000 of debt, and though we may still have some student loans with low interest rates under 5% hanging around, we feel extremely grateful and blessed to be in the financial situation we are in, and we would highly recommend it to everyone. If you have debt, go ahead and begin your debt-free journey. You won't regret it. If you've made it this far through the video, remember I promised you my #1 tip for paying off debt quickly? Well, here it is. Number 1, financial success in paying debt off early is achieved through focused intensity. My absolute #1 favorite lesson learned from the Dave Ramsey plan is that you can achieve anything with the right amount of focus, intensity, and grit. We're so thankful to have learned this lesson early, because this lesson not only applies to paying off debt, but it will also apply as you transition from paying debt to building wealth. Number 2, don't be afraid to hustle, grind, and work extra hard, because every extra dollar you earn is an extra dollar of debt that's eliminated. 100% of every dollar you earn over and above your normal income can be applied to paying off debt. This feels incredible and can keep you motivated as you're working a second job or a part-time job or even working extra hours at your primary job. You're gonna need the motivation to keep going day in and day out. And what I did is I relied on this principle. Number 3, communication is key. Talk regularly with your spouse or friend about your financial goals. Share with each other why this journey is important to you and what you hope to gain from this experience. If you're married, you and your spouse are in this together. You're gonna have some up times and some down times. And it's important to rely on each other because some of the down times can be really rough. You're gonna feel like you may be depriving yourself of normal life experiences, but at the end of the day, this is for a limited period of your life, and it's important that you work through it together. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and oh yeah, hit that notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.